My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
We acknowledge the traditional owners of country throughout Australia and recognise their continuing connection to land, waters and culture. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome to This Song Is Yours, a music podcast where we chat to a new guest each week, talk about their life and creative endeavours, and talk to them about some of the music they love. Our show works by chatting to our guests about music, their songwriting techniques, and occasionally getting them to make you a playlist of the songs they love. Welcome to episode 193. I'm your host, Simon Fink. Our guest today is The Amazons. The indie rock band from the UK are back with their third studio record entitled How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me? In today's episode, we're speaking with frontman Matt Thompson about writing hook-laden music, working with Maggie Rogers, and when we'll see them back in Australia. Here we go. Our guest today is the frontman of UK indie rock band The Amazons. With both of their previous records hitting the top 10 in the UK album charts, anticipation is high for their third studio record, which is out now and entitled How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me? Please welcome to This Song Is Yours, Matt Thompson from The Amazons. Hello, sir. How are we?
Very well, thank you. I'm admiring all the lovely records behind you. What have you got there? You got some Khruangbin. I see Khruangbin. Oh, I see old Silk, Chiffon, Muna. And Maggie, of course. What a great record.
Well, that's what I was going to get to this a little bit later, but because the records behind me have been discussed, there is, I guess, a connection to Maggie Rogers on this third record from yourself. The record we're talking about very quickly is The Amazons. How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me? But yes, Maggie does not makes an appearance, but helped contribute in some way to this record, didn't she?
Very much so. We've been pals. Really, we met at Glastonbury in 2017. Been pals ever since. Kind of crossed paths at very interesting places. I remember hanging out with Fuji Rock in Japan. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, we've just the more I've been to Los Angeles from my own relationship, the more we've been able to hang out. She's got a place out there, and we were just hanging out one day at her place, and I just said, "Listen, I've got this verse idea. Do you want to hear it? Like, I don't really know where to go next with it. Like, this happens a lot sometimes. It happens a lot. It happens sometimes. Like, no song is created in the same way with the Amazons, at least. And sometimes you can have songs sitting in your pocket for quite a long time. And it got to the point where I'm like, I need help with this. I need just some sort of different, like, viewpoint. And of course, like, such a big fan of Maggie's work, always have been. And I just felt that this verse was something that was kind of in her world. Like, it wasn't going to go like, Maggie, I've got this riff, and then like, you know, like play some of the heavier parts of this record. That's not necessarily, not that she doesn't like that stuff. I can't speak for her, but like, say it again in that early form was like, okay, this is in your world, kind of. So played the verse to her, very rough, and she just started singing this incredible melodic, emotive melody, very much in her DNA, like very much in her style. And I was like, shit, that's good. Like, do you mind if I record this? And it's like, yes, cool, let's do this. And then kind of really she like knocked the door. She like, it was like, you know, the kind of brick wall thing that you get like if you're, I don't know, on a marathon or something like that, that kind of adage or cliche or whatever. It was like that for the song, and she like totally kicked it through. And then went on to, I went on to finish the lyrics and kind of sent her demos and stuff as it went along. got her blessing. And we were at Coachella, actually. She was playing Coachella, and I said, "Oh, it's actually made the album." She was like, "That's fucking awesome." So, so yeah, that was the story to say it again, really. That one in my mind is very Los Angeles in pretty much every step of its journey.
I feel like this song does have, I like the word that you used before, the DNA of it, because I feel that it definitely fits in with this third record of the Amazons, but it does, I feel like if you kind of strip some instruments away, maybe change the tempo slightly, it could also fit on a Maggie Rogers album as well. So I think that's a very beautiful way that you put it before. I'm curious, with this being the third album from the Amazons, is collaboration something that you guys usually do? I guess, was there much looking outside of the regular technique or the regular tested and tried songwriting approaches that you guys had done on those previous two albums?
Very much so. I think we wanted to kind of open the doors a little bit with this record. The last two very much are like closed, tight-knit. We're the band, man. We kind of do everything in the rehearsal room. And to the point where I can't believe I haven't mentioned her today, but the Catherine Marks, our producer for the first two records before the third, Australian from, oh God, I can't remember where. Oh shit. Sorry. But she's from Australia. And she's moved up to London and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, the point is we were, even to the point of kind of like, you know, what's the word? Almost like batting off her ideas, basically, in the name of like, we're the band, man. We know what we're doing. Like, whatever. We don't care what you say, producer. And which was totally the stupidest, wrongest thing ever, to not take good ideas just because they're not yours. So this time around, it was very much like, why not open the door? And I actually just, some of our favorite bands, like Arcade Fire or U2 or Coldplay, like, they opened the door and were better for it, in my opinion. Just the idea of collaborating, like some of my favorite stuff that U2 and Coldplay were done with Brian Eno and Arcade Fire, like brung James Murphy in on Reflector and all of those just moments. Like, why would we not do that? And we're also in a position where if we if we call Jim Abyss to produce our record, he's going to pick it up and talk to us. So that wasn't going to happen right at the beginning. So we were just making use of the opportunity, really.
100%. I was going to bring Jim up because Jim Abyss did produce the record. He's worked with bands like, as you said, Arcade Fire. I think he's worked with Arctic Monkeys as well. Like an incredible list of a back catalogue of work for him. What was that experience like for yourselves? And I guess what did you take away, or what did you learn that you're definitely going to apply moving forward when it comes to the songwriting of the band?
So
this season, Instacart has your back to school. As in, they've got your back to school lunch favorites like snack packs and fresh fruit. And they've got your back to school supplies like backpacks, binders, and pencils. And they've got your back when your kid casually tells you they have a huge school project due tomorrow. Let's face it, we were all that kid. So first, call your parents to say I'm sorry, and then download the Instacart app to get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes all school year long. Get a $0 delivery fee with your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 an order. Additional terms apply.
Jewelry can say many things on your wedding day. As a wedding band, it can say, "This is a forever symbol of our forever love." As a gift to your wedding party, it can say, "Thanks for standing up there with us." Blue Nile can help you find the piece that says it all and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com.
it was interesting working with Jim because I said in an earlier interview, all the ideas he was having, we were like, that's fucking spot on, dude. That's amazing. Wow. Yes. It's so like his like strike rate of ideas was like absolute 10 out of 10. And we were agreeing with everything he was saying. And then it was like kind of dawned on us. It was like, oh, the reason we agree on everything he's saying is because the way we look at music was basically like set by the records that he was making 10 years ago. We're like, this is awesome. Wow. And there was, I think a lot of the process in the beginning was me just honestly peppering him with questions. And I'd say, and he was like, one of his observations in the first couple of weeks was like, no one has ever asked me this many questions before. And it was a kind of like, that's cool, but also kind of like, stop asking me questions. Because what I learned from Jim is that he doesn't care about trappings of fame. He doesn't like to like almost, doesn't want to gossip, doesn't want to like, it's not story time of like all his past glories when it works with Jim. He's really not into that at all. He is very much into like, we're here now making your record. This is your story. Like, why do you care about how many vocal takes Adele did on the first record? Like, what's the point? What do you want? Whilst for me, I was like, I just want to soak up as much information as possible. Like, I just want to know how people do it and see if I can take something from it as almost like a wider look at my own journey. Like, I've literally got someone who worked with Alex Turner and Adele. Like, why wouldn't I just... Maybe I'm an aspiring journalist because all I wanted to do was just get the voice recorder out, just go, right, let's start from the beginning. But he was like, let's make your record, you idiot.
Look, I think I am very much in the same camp as yourself. I would probably be asking questions of like, what was this session like? How did this song form? Or I heard this story. So I think what you did was very fair. I would have done exactly the same.
Totally.
The influences can be heard on the record. There's one track, I'm just trying to remember what it was, but I think even the mandolin was very similar to, I think, like Arcade Fire, Neon Bible kind of era, which played really well into this record. The record does have, in full transparency, I was trying to think of puns yesterday when kind of listening to the record, only because there's so many hooks. I didn't come up with anything smart. I'm not going to bore you with my terrible jokes. But when you are writing, I guess, how are you coming up with these hooks? Because there's multiple hooks even within one track, and they still seem to work. I feel like sometimes it can come across as too much, yet you've managed to balance that perfectly on this record.
Thank you. I mean, that's a really wonderful thing. We haven't had that yet. Like, no one said that kind of thing before. And I appreciate you saying that because it's definitely on our mind. It's definitely on my mind. That's just my parameters of like songs. That's just how we create. That's just kind of the fine-tooth comb that we put for our music. Like, they're judged on, am I conveying emotion? Are the lyrics cool? Does it flow very nicely? And then honestly, the most important thing for me is is it hooky? Like, is the verse, is the verse memorable, for goodness sake? And then if the verse is memorable, we need a memorable chorus. But that's also the team we have around us. And that's also like, we sent Jim like 30 songs. So he was picking them, like his mind is also like picking out hooks and stuff. But and I think as well, like our managers and our label, they don't like dictate or anything, but like if they sent like 20 demos, for example, they'll pick the ones with the big, with a chorus and stuff like that. And they'll go, oh, I like excellent lines. But like, do you reckon you could that be a bigger chorus? Or like, could stuff be more memorable? All that kind of stuff, which I just think is a pretty valid criteria. And that's kind of what I want out of the music as well. But also like, I've seen all the documentaries of like ABBA and, acts like that, where they're like, we need at least 3 hooks for each song. So of course I'm like, okay, I'll try. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's just our style of writing. That's how we do it.
It's definitely working. It is definitely working for you, Matt.
Thank you.
Very quickly, I know before we started recording, we were talking about your last visit to Australia. You haven't been to Adelaide. You are more than welcome to come to Adelaide. Please let us know. We'll make sure that you're looked after, take you around. Can we expect to see the Amazons back in Australia at any point sometime soon?
Well, it's obviously we are not particularly logistically too close, so it does take a little. It's a bit of a process to get over to Australia. We were so lucky to go last time on our last record and fit that in before like COVID and stuff. It was maybe like 6 months before lockdown. And you know what? Talking to yourself, Simon, all helps to bring us over. That's for sure.
Please, anything that we can do. As I said, when you do come, if you manage to make it to Adelaide, please give us a bell. We'll make sure again that you're looked after. Lastly, Matt, we usually ask our guests what they're currently listening to, if there's anything that's currently on high rotation for yourself.
Yes, there's a band called More from Los Angeles and it's styled More, and then they've got like a star, like asterisk type thing. They're super, super cool. I really like them. Actually, John Hopkins is a kind of ambient producer, and he's made an album last year called Music for Psychedelic Therapy. And
yes,
have you heard it? It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
The Teos Caves in Ecuador is like nuts. Like the with the like the rain sound and all that stuff. But it's like super. I really like that kind of stuff at the moment. I've been really trying to dig into it, and I'm trying to like bring it into our live sets and create some kind of like in terms of transitions between songs, like create some kind of immersive soundscape. Do you know what I mean? And work with the light. Anyway, so if we come to Australia, hopefully we'll have a banging set by then that we can that we can play.
Well, look, we very much look forward to that, Matt. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. The new album from the Amazons is out now. It is called How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me? But yes, thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's our show. A massive thank you to Matt Thompson and the Amazons for their time. How Will I Know If Heaven Will Find Me is out now, and we've left links in the show notes if you'd like to buy the record. We also want to give a huge shout out to Louvel at Virgin Music Australia for helping out with today's interview. If you like this show, please subscribe wherever you get your pods and stay up to date when new episodes are released. We release new shows each Wednesday and Friday morning, and we now have a Patreon, which you can find within the show notes of this episode. You can follow the player's profile on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week, cheers.
$1-800-Flowers.com is more than your birthday, anniversary, or just because gift-giving destination. We put our hearts into everything we do to help you celebrate all life's special occasions with friends and family. From our farmers and bakers, florists and makers, everything from 1-800-Flowers is made with love every step of the way, because we know that nothing is more important than delivering a smile. To learn more, visit 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/ACAST.